Corporal Manny is a 2-year-old full-blooded English bulldog born in Fallbrook, California. On July 9, 2018, he is named in honor of Sergeant Johnny R. Manuelito Sr., one of the original 29 Navajo code talkers who trained in the 1st All-Navajo Platoon here aboard the depot in 1942. Sergeant Manuelito helped create the code that the Navajos developed at Camp Elliott, now Marine Corps Air Station Miramar. He became an instructor, teaching other Navajo Marines the Navajo code. Later, Sergeant Manuelito participated in the Battle of Iwo Jima, where a Marine signals officer stated, "Had it not been for the code talkers, we would have never taken Iwo Jima." Lance Corporal Manny continues the tradition of a long line of mascots at MCRD San Diego, dating back to 1939, when Major General Smedley Butler introduced James Jolly Plum Duff as the first mascot here at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot. He is being escorted by the Office of Communication, Corporal Brooke C. Wood. Spiritual development plays an important part in the making of a United States Marine. Lieutenant Brian J. McCramer, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, will deliver the graduation prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Let us pray. O one who has many names but breathes life into us all, this is the day. This is the day that we acknowledge those among us who have been tested and have prevailed, saying, "These fires of life shall not consume me. No, these fires instead will forge me into a warrior, into a Marine." This is the day. This is the day when we give thanks for the support these men receive from their family and friends, for those spirits seen and unseen of Marines past and present, the cloud of witness who attended them along the way, and for all those gathered here today on this sacred hour, on this sacred ground. This is the day. This is the day when we give thanks for the drill instructors whose leadership, discipline, and sacrifice instilled in these Marines values that make Marines the few and the proud. This is the day. And when this ceremony ends and the moment comes for these Marines to leave their drill instructor's watchful eye, may they go to serve our great nation knowing your eye is ever upon them. May your call to serve with honor, courage, and commitment be forever in their hearts. May your abiding love and presence and boundless blessing be always upon them. This is the day. This is the day that you have made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Officially formed in 1921, Marine Band San Diego has thrilled countless millions throughout the world with its inspiring renditions of traditional and contemporary music. Each member of the band has completed recruit training, maintains combat skills, and many have been on combat deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, giving true meaning to the title Marine Musicians. Marine Band San Diego is under the leadership of Chief Warrant Officer 2 Alex Panos, Band Officer, and Master Sergeant Robert Merkin, Bandmaster. Today the band is led on the march by Gunnery Sergeant James Dempsey, Drum Major, and is under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer 2 Alex Panos. The Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, welcomes you to what is an historic event in the life of a Marine, their graduation from boot camp. Approximately 40 weeks each year for the past 99 years, new Marines have departed San Diego for service with units of the Marine Corps around the globe. The primary mission of the Recruit Depot is to provide basic training to recruits enlisted west of the Mississippi, which represents approximately 51% of all male applicants in the Marine Corps each year. The depot is also home to Recruiter School and Drill Instructor School. All our efforts here are geared toward one end, producing America's finest fighting force, the United States Marines. This morning, Company C, 1st Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment, will form and march in the parade. Following the pass and review, the graduating Marines will return front and center of the reviewing stand for final dismissal. The staff for today's parade is comprised of Marines from the Recruit Training Regiment. The commander of troops is First Sergeant Larry D. Crumpton II, Company First Sergeant, Company C, 1st Recruit Training Battalion. The parade adjutant is Sergeant Patrick D. Harris, Platoon Sergeant, Company C, 1st Recruit Training Battalion. The marching units are now being called to attention, and the adjutant's command, Sound Adjutant's Call, will begin today's parade. Marching in today's parade are 352 of the graduating Marines from Company C. Recruit training is comprised of subjects required to produce basic Marines who function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguish them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, the achievement of a state of discipline which assures respect for authority, instant and willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain or improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, consistently demonstrating military presence and personal awareness, as well as the proper wearing and maintenance of uniforms. Esprit de corps, acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm. Devotion, pride, initiative, teamwork, aggressiveness, determination, moral courage, integrity, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others toward excellence in common goals. For 244 years, Marines have fought and won whenever and wherever the nation calls, in the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies. Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity. Though battlefields change and capabilities evolve, history proves that true victory comes from the individual Marine with steel resolve, the drive to overcome any obstacle, and the warrior spirit to fight on against all odds. It takes that steadfast faithfulness, semper fidelis to corps, country, and each other, that abounds throughout our storied legacy. Marines today remain in combat, forward deployed throughout the world, confronting every challenge with courage, loyalty, and faithfulness. They are resolved to be most ready when the nation is least ready, to defend freedom anytime and anywhere, to stand ready to aid those devastated by natural disasters, to pay tribute to those who have forged our proud legacy, and to honor the families and loved ones who faithfully stand beside us. For the Marines of Company C, today marks the end of the 14-week recruit training cycle. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton and on this parade deck, and have been trained, as are all Marines, as basic riflemen. In addition, due to an intensive physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival aboard the recruit depot. They are Marines, qualified to take their places in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. The next portion of the ceremony will be the presentation of the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. The adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of the troops. Officers center march. All unit commanders and baton bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face a battle, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Ladies and gentlemen, the battalion commander for 1st Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Farsad.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, both those here in person and those watching online. On behalf of the Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot and Western Recruiting Region, Brigadier General Heritage, and the Commanding Officer of the Recruit Training Regiment, Colonel Palma, I'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Charlie Company. I'd also like to welcome the Parade Reviewing Officer for today's ceremony, Sergeant Major Vega. Sergeant Major Vega served in the Marine Corps for 23 years and is currently the Sergeant Major for 3rd Recruit Training Battalion here at MCRD San Diego. And as a former drill instructor in Charlie Company, it's great to be able to have him out here and recognize him today. Welcome, Sergeant Major. Thanks for joining us. I'd also like to thank all the parents, families, and friends for everything you've done for your new Marines. Although you can't be here in person, I can assure you that your love and support was vital to their success. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to address the Marines of Charlie Company. Good morning, Marines! Congratulations. Today marks a milestone in a journey that began 15 long weeks ago when you arrived here and committed yourselves to becoming Marines. You were taught our core values of honor, courage, and commitment in order to make Marines of exemplary character with a clear understanding that being a Marine carries a special trust and confidence and the highest expectations of the American people. We developed your physical and mental toughness by imbuing you with a warrior spirit, able to thrive in a complex and chaotic environment, and able to persevere past and push past your perceived limits when your mettle is tested. You learn the skills of a warfighter, characterized by sound judgment and aggressiveness in execution. You hiked countless miles, learned to operate in the field, and completed our marksmanship program, enabling you to engage pinpoint targets at distances of up to 500 yards. You were taught how to decide, act, and communicate with a bias for action and with the boldness and determination required of every Marine. And we trained you to be leaders, embracing that exceptional and unremitting responsibility to each and every one of your fellow Marines. All of that training culminated in your most difficult task, the Crucible. Yet you came together as a team and you completed the Crucible and earned that title that you will take pride in for the rest of your lives, the title of United States Marine. Be thankful for your drill instructors. They have been with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last 13 weeks. It is through their hard work and dedication that you are transformed into the Marine you are today. So congratulations again, Charlie Company. You should be proud of what you've accomplished. You have taken your place in that long line of illustrious Marines who have served as soldiers of the sea since the founding of our Corps. And so as you leave here today, remember our core values of honor, courage, and commitment. Because now you represent all those Marines who went before you, and you will help mold the ones who come after. May you always have fair winds and following seas, and remain Semper Fidelis.
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is today's parade reviewing officer, Sergeant Major George L. Vega. He is accompanied by Sergeant Major Marcus D. Reese, Battalion Sergeant Major, 1st Recruit Training Battalion. Sergeant Major George L. Vega. Sergeant Major Vega enlisted in the Marine Corps in October 1997 and completed recruit training aboard Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina. After completing Marine combat training in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, he attended the Motor Vehicle Operators Course in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. There he was assigned an MOS of 3531, Motor Vehicle Operator. Sergeant Major Vega has served in a variety of challenging billets in numerous commands to include serving as a drill instructor and senior drill instructor for Charlie Company, 1st Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Corporal's Leadership Course Senior Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge and Deputy Director at the Non-Commissioned Officers Academy, Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Company First Sergeant for Food Service Company and Communications Company, Headquarters Regiment, 2nd Marine Logistics Group, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. In December 2015, Sergeant Major Vega was transferred to 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines, 2nd Marine Division in North Carolina, where he served as a Company First Sergeant for Company G and Headquarters and Service Company. As of November 2018, Sergeant Major Vega was assigned to Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, where he is currently serving as a 3rd Recruit Training Battalion Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major Vega's personal decorations include the Meritorious Service Medal with 1 gold star in lieu of 2nd award, the Navy Marine Corps Commendation Medal with 1 gold star in lieu of 2nd award, and the Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal with 2 gold stars, and Combat Distinguishing Device in lieu of 3rd award. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sergeant Major George L. Vega.
Morning, sir. We're ready for. Aye, aye, sir.
More than 1 million Marines have been trained here in the past 99 years and have departed San Diego for combat in conflicts around the world, including places whose names are immediately associated with Marine courage and dedication. Names such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, Husum, Incheon, Chosin Reservoir, Quezon, Way City, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Somalia, Fallujah, Iraq, Marja, Afghanistan, and our most current operations worldwide. This parade deck is rich in history and tradition, and no Marine trained here ever forgets its sights and sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of troops of First Sergeant Larry D. Hunter II, Company First Sergeant and the battalion staff. Marine Band San Diego, Platoon Depot, San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, as the national flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it passes, you may be seated. Series 1039, Chief Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Dana A. Jackson, Jr. Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Frankie Ruiz. Platoon 1050, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Robert J. Welker. Platoon 1051, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Markham M. Hall. The Regimental Color Guard is led by Regimental Color Sergeant Drill Instructor Sergeant Patrick Hassett. Series 1053, Chief Drill Instructor Gunnery Sergeant Roberto D. Martinez. Platoon 1053, Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Patrick G. Bandrel. Platoon 1054, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Justin T. Johnson. Also from Platoon 1054 is the Company High Shooter, Private First Class Reed J. Rice, as well as the most physically fit Marine, Private First Class Tristan K. Konchny. Platoon 1055, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Juan Diego C. Escobedo. The Marines hymn has a history dating back to 1859. It is a long-standing tradition for Marines to face the direction of the music and stand at attention when it is heard. It is now directed that all Marines present and who have served honorably sing the words to the first verse as the Marine Band San Diego performs the Marines hymn. Will the guests please rise? Please be seated. The Marine Corps' uniqueness and strength as an elite fighting force is directly attributable to the magnificent efforts of the drill instructors and company officers who train and supervise the recruits. The distinct qualities of spirit and discipline, the heart and soul of every Marine, have been developed, nurtured, and ingrained in recruits through the recruit observance and relationship with their drill instructors and officers. Recruit training is the very foundation of the Corps. Each year, recruit training provides thousands of America's finest young men and women with the basic knowledge and skills to function in a profession characterized by its own set of high values and tough standards. The most important thing we do in the Marine Corps is make Marines. The individual Marine is the Corps. That is what we do here. For the Marines graduating today, the long, arduous journey of the last 14 weeks is but a small step into the future of the Marine Corps. As they prepare to fill the ranks of our Corps, they do so with unquestionable support for the high ideals and standards of the United States of America and the United States Marine Corps. Although Company C prepares for their final dismissal from boot camp today, their initial training is not over. Soon after graduation, they will report to the School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine Rifle Squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is a rifleman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Jason M. Rosso. The company first sergeant is First Sergeant Larry D. Crumpton II. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the company staff of Company C. The next portion of the ceremony will be the traditional function of retiring the guidons. The guidons have been carried by the platoons throughout recruit training and are being retired to symbolize the disbanding of platoons. All similar units in the Marine Corps carry such guidons, which identify the unit and are a source of pride to each individual member. Note that the honor of carrying these guidons is bestowed upon those Marines who displayed outstanding leadership qualities, motivation, and character, and were selected as the Platoon Honor Graduates. The Platoon Honor Graduates compete for the titles of Series and Company Honor Graduate. They are considered the top Marines graduating today and have demonstrated the highest potential for future leadership and responsibility in the Marine Corps. The guide dogs will now be returned to the drill instructors. The honor graduate for Platoon 1049 is Private First Class Eric Chavez from Sacramento, California. The honor graduate for Platoon 1050 and also the company honor graduate is Lance Corporal Israel E. Ramirez from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Lance Corporal Ramirez is also the recipient of the Chesley Puller Award for his outstanding meritorious performance while in recruit training. The honor graduate for Platoon 1051 is Private First Class Austin M. Lanham from Kennewick, Washington. The honor graduate for Platoon 1053 is Private First Class Alexander C. Curley from Humboldt, Texas. The honor graduate for Platoon 1054 and also the series honor graduate is Private First Class Gabriel Trujillo Jr. from Houston, Texas. And the honor graduate for Platoon 1055 is Private First Class Paul W. Raines from Benton, Arkansas. Ladies and gentlemen, the honorman of Company C.
Detail. Hold. Back. Think.
Good morning, sir. Company First Sergeant reporting his order. Good morning. Is this coming? Aye, sir.
The company first sergeant will now give the command to the senior drill instructors to dismiss their platoons. Needless to say, this will be the most welcome command they have received throughout recruit training.